Well, thank you for attending today. It's our Church360 Unite overview webinar. My name is Dave Farnham, and I am a sales representative here with Concordia Technology Solutions. And I will be taking us through really an introduction here into our webinar today. And then also we'll be the one that will be helping to answer any questions that you have during the webinar. So feel free during the webinar, if you do have a question, put that into the question box and I'll be glad to answer that during our webinar here today. So also joining me today for the webinar and taking us through the guided tour of the webinar is thank you for attending today's Church360 members, Church360 Unite webinar. We're glad that you're attending today, and I'm going to take us back just a couple different slides here to the beginning. Looks like we might have had a little bit of delay there. So we're going to be looking at an overview of the Church360 Unite. My name is Dave Farnham, and I am a sales representative here with Concordia Technology Solutions. My contact information is on the screen there in front of you. If you do have any questions throughout, I will be doing the introduction and then also answering questions as we go through the webinar here today. So joining me today is Ken Olemeyer. And Ken will be actually taking us through the guided tour of the software. And so his contact information is here in front of you. He is a senior manager in marketing here at Concordia Publishing House. So you'll see his contact information here in front of you. A little bit about the webinar here today, a little housekeeping. We're going to have approximately 50 minutes for the presentation. Now, we may take a little bit less than 50 minutes for the presentation, and that's fine. But I want to let you know that at the end, there'll be a time for questions and answers. But all during the webinar, if you do have questions, certainly feel free to pop them into the question box, and I'll be glad to answer them throughout the webinar. So the recording will be shared. There's typically a few people that signed up for the webinar that weren't able to attend for one reason or another. And so we will be sending that out to them and then also sending it out to all of you who have signed up for the webinar here today. And certainly are glad that you have joined us here for the Church360 Unite webinar. Well, who is Concordia Technology Solutions? We're actually the Church Administration Division of Concordia Publishing House. We've been developing software here since 1984. And today we're going to be looking at the Church360 Unite. You can see at the top of the product name is Church360. Now that's a common thing that you'll see because that is something that is a part of the suite of Church360 products. The Unite is the one side of it. It's the website builder and the online communication tool, but it's also really a part of a three-legged stool of Church360. The other two components are Church360 Members, which is our membership management software, helps you to be able to manage your people, and that would include all of your members, but also visitors and prospects, as well as attendance and offering. And then the third part of that Church360 is the Church360 Ledger. Now, Ledger is the church accounting software. So, but today, again, our focus is on the Unite product. So the Church360 is a website builder, and that's exactly what Unite is. So as we look at this, we'll find out as we take a look at the webinar, it is a full-fledged website for churches with both public side and also a private side. You'll see as we go into the software that there's also an area that you can create blogs. And also there is a member hub. So you'll have both a public side of the website, but also you're going to have a part that is a private site where your members can be able to log in and see information that's more appropriate for them as a member and those that are connected with the website and with the church as a whole. There's also an area that you can share files with your members and those that need to see it in certain groups and ministries. Also, there's a calendaring tool within the Church360 Unite and a mass emailing tool. So we'll take a look at some of those different components as we look at the software here together. So a lot of different things that you'll find within Unite. And we're going to take a look at everything really from a vantage point of kind of getting a big picture of some of these components. So in the Unite software of our websites, all of our themes that we provide for you, they're all mobile accessible. What does that mean? It means that as you take a look at the websites from your iPhone or from your Android, they are going to be fully a full-fledged website that you can navigate to every single page from. In fact, whether you're on your Mac or your PC, a tablet, or your phone, all of these have been designed so that you can navigate to every single thing, and they should show up properly in each one of those venues. Now, Church360 Unite can sync with your church management software of the Church360 members and/or even shepherd staff too. Now, when you're starting with Church360 Unite, some churches already have a pre-existing domain, and that's perfectly fine. You can use that with our Church360 Unite. But for some churches that may say, well, you know, we do have a domain, like a website address. We don't really like it. We'd like to get a new one. You can get one from us. And/or if you don't even have one, you can get a domain from us. And then if your domain is with us, then you can also get emails stemming from that domain. So those are all available from us. Now, when you start with the 360 Unite, I want to let you know that you are not left alone out there without any assistance. First of all, we're going to give you training when you're beginning. So you're going to get a full leg up on getting started and understanding everything that there is to know. And you'll just find what ease and how easy this is to really use as a administrator or somebody who's wanting to put different type of content on the website. Also, there is ongoing support. So if you need assistance, you have a question with something, you're going to be able to get in touch with us. One of a couple of different ways. You can do it in-app. So you can get in touch with us through there. There's a help system, and there's also a way to be able to call our support team as well. A couple assumptions that we might have as we enter the webinar today. One, that you have at least some familiarity with church websites, that you're probably new to Church360 Unite. You haven't seen that or seen too much of it, and then you're extremely busy. So we definitely want to make sure that we're wise and good stewards of our time together here today. A little bit of the outline of what we're going to cover today. We'll be looking at really a broad overview of the tools of the Church360 software, and the Unite is what we're looking at today. And then we'll have some different practical examples, adding some content, how to use some of those tools in a practical sense. And then there'll be a time for question and answers, which we talked about previously. Certainly you can ask those questions at any time in the question tool. We'll look at a basic introduction of some of the themes and the styles of Church360 Unite, pages and feeds, calendars and events, the user and member only tools of the website, and then the directory, groups, and mailing lists. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the things that I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn things over to Ken. So bear with me just a moment as I get things turned over here to Ken.
Well, thanks, Dave. And while we're doing that and switching screens over, I just want to come in and just welcome you all again for joining us today. Thank you so much for taking the time out to do this. As Dave mentioned, my name is Ken Olemeyer, and I am one of the senior marketing managers here at Concordia Publishing House. Let me switch over and show my screen right now. I'm going to start sharing my screen. Make sure everybody can see that. What you're seeing right now is our Concordia Technology Solutions homepage for Church360 Unite. So, as Dave mentioned, Dave's been working with Concordia Technology Solutions for years and with this software for years. But this, for me, this isn't something that I do day to day in my role. And that's really why I wanted to be able to share the software with you today, just to show you how simple and easy it is to be able to build, edit, upload, design a professionally functioning website, a professionally looking and professionally functioning website without having to know to lick a code and really not do much more than just text editing. Yeah, so one of the things I do in my job, in my role, is I'm blessed to go around and travel and meet with different pastors, different administrators, youth leaders, teachers, people just like you. Yeah, we all have different titles and roles within the church, but yeah, how do I go about finding them? Well, the first thing I always do is I get on either the LCMS site or I get into the Lutheran Annual and I track people down that way. But once I locate them, I go straight to the website and see, first of all, if they have a church website, but secondly, what that website says about them. And, you know, a church's website can tell a lot about a church's personality, the vitality of the church, the activities of the church. And I love seeing websites that are as vibrant as the church themselves. You know, one that shares multi-generational activities, shares Bible studies, shares photos of VBS and different things like this. With Church360 Unite, you too can now have an opportunity to build a site like that and do it relatively easily. So as Dave mentioned, today we're going to just take a 30,000 foot view, do a quick overview and just show how easy it is going to be. What we're going to talk about, well, we're not going to be able to cover everything in today's time. And we're going to cover a lot of ground, but our recommendation really is to take the free trial and just jump right in and start experimenting and exploring the software and trying to do some things yourself. The website that I have shown here on my screen is the Church360 Unite website. And it shares some of the things that you can be doing with the website itself. And we're going to get into these conversations as we go along, but themes and pages, building your calendars, looking at groups, all of those type of things. But what you do see in here is an opportunity for a free trial. And if you haven't signed up for a free trial yet, we recommend you doing that. And like I said, jump in and you've got full 30 days to start working with the software. There's no credit card needed or anything like that. There's no commitment, no obligation. But once you sign up, you'll just start seeing how easy it is to be up and running in the web in no time. And during that time too, you'll have full access to our support team. So we're here to help you. And if you have questions and you want to take a look at something, by all means, please contact us and we'll be able to do it. So I'm going to switch over now to a website that I've started building. And this is my administrator view of it. I've already signed in. So you see a few things that you wouldn't see normally if you were just looking at the web page itself. But as an administrator, you sign in, you see these various tools up here, the navigation tools. And I want to go through some of these with you right now. You see pages, you see posts, you see activity, you see users, themes, and settings. So let's kind of go through these and let's start with settings all the way here on the far right. I click on settings. The first thing that I see are my usage statistics and the opportunity in here to change my church name, my email, my phone, etc. Again, you think of the email, you think of the phone. These are some of the first places that people are going to reach out and contact you. If they're seeking a new church home, or maybe they're new in the community, they're going to be looking at your website, and they're going to be going right here to how easily to contact you. So make sure it's an email address or a phone number that's going to be easily accessible, and you'll be able to return messages promptly. Next thing you see here are calendars. If I click on calendars, this is really where we set up and we determine which calendars we have are public facing or private facing. It could be calendars within our private groups, or they could be the calendar that just shows the public all the different things going on, locations, times, places, etc. We'll delve into what makes a public or private calendar here in a bit as well. Then we scroll down, click in the tab, and you see domain name. As Dave mentioned, if you already have a domain name, we can get it here for you. If you don't have one, our team is very happy to help set that up for you. But this is where you would do your domain name. Again, the option is yours. It's easy to set up, but the option is yours. And next you see Google Analytics. Now, Google Analytics is a free tool that really helps keep track of your website's traffic. Now, there's a number of great metrics that you can do in here. It really helps determine which portions of your website are being seen the most. You don't need this to get started. So don't feel that if you don't set up your Google Analytics right away, it's going to hamper your site. It can be something that you add in as you go, but it is just a great team, great support network here, and a great way to really know where people are going. Again, if you have questions on setting this portion up, talk to our support team. They'll be happy to walk you through it. The next one is integration. We click down to integration, and this is where you sync with your Shepherd staff. And again, all the instructions are there, but we are happy to help set that up for you. You know, there's really no reason not to set up and sync. If you're already subscribed to Church360 members, that integration is automatic. So that's, again, the value of being able to be part of this trio of products. Church360 members, Church360 Unite, and Church360 Ledger. They all talk to each other and do very well. But if you are a member of Shepherd staff right now, you can still bring your members in. We'll just help you get set up with that. Now, something brand new, and this has just kind of come up since really the last time that Dave and I did one of these webinars. We've added a social links page, and you're able to type in your Facebook page, your Twitter account, your Instagram, your YouTube, your Vimeo. You know, a lot of people will use Facebook and Twitter as kind of the daily news features of, you know, what's happening within your church right now. As you'll see, as simple as Unite is to use and add pages and keep current and things like that, you can use both, you know, because there are people that will go straight to your Facebook page or your Instagram account or your Twitter page and your social media. It's a great way to have interaction with them. Or there will be people that just go to your website. So you want your website to have some pretty dynamic content that is always changing, like your social media. But here's a great way to integrate a lot of those type of things. The next one is, let's take a look at themes. So I'm just clicking over, I'm going from right to left now. So I'm over at themes. And the theme tab has a number of just right out of the box look, as well as highly customizable themes that you can do. And you see, as I click onto my different themes, all the presets pop up for me. And what these allow us to do is design something that just looks very polished. And it's just something that, you know, again, you don't have to have programming knowledge or coding knowledge. You can go right into one of these themes and do it. And if I click on any one of these then in the preset, it then opens up to a larger box, and it gives me a better sense of what the theme would actually look like with my content. You know, these are all free to use within your subscription. And, you know, what I would recommend as you're starting to work on your website is try a few out. Get one that really reflects well on your congregation and kind of talks about your personality. We offer a lot of different options here. So, you know, especially as you're starting to build this website out, it doesn't hurt to try a few different themes. Now, a couple of cautions on that. Once you select a theme, you know, that is going to reflect your church and personality. And if you think about this, the theme is really kind of the window dressing or the decorations around your content. So you want something that's going to have a positive reflection on your church and is very welcoming to perhaps guests and visitors. So the themes give you a lot of different options. Now, once you pick one though, like I said, try to be consistent with it. Don't just change themes all the time. You want to have your user experience be something that they're actually, you know, they're not shocked every time they come back to your page. So pick a theme that's going to work for you. But you've got a lot of different options here, and we have all these different presets. You know, once you find the theme you like, and I'm not going to change my theme right now, but all you have to do is hit apply theme, and then that will immediately go, and that will be the look of your website. And you'll see that when we get into the page itself. And again, there's no coding on something like this. Next is the style section. So the style section is kind of the blueprint of your site. Here's where you select your fonts, what the look is going to look like, and how that's going to translate in your page. You have different options for heading fonts, for inline styles. You can change the font family. We even have a little font loading chart right here to see, okay, if you're starting to put too many fonts in, it's going to really slow down your your website load. So, these are all little things that as you're starting to build your site, you'll become more and more familiar with. But you're also able to go in here and customize some of these and, add a style. I can come in here, I can type in a new style. I just might be bold emphasis. And I'm going to do that inline. And let's say I just want to grab one of my fonts in here and I want something big and bold. Let's do that. And I want it just to be normal. Type sizes, color, things of this nature. And I can just change color. And I'll show you how to change color here in a minute too on something. But let's say I'm doing that. And always get in the habit of hitting save because you'll notice as you make these changes, you always want to hit save. You don't want to be going through a lot of different customization, forgetting to hit save and not having it there for you. Okay, so we can also customize even within our themes. So this is where the building blocks all come into play. You can make so many different customizations within your church. So if you see a theme that you like, and maybe the colors aren't reflective in your church, you can then put in and customize your colors. So it would really look good with your brand standards. And I do want to just put a quick little shout out to the idea of doing a brand guidelines or brand standards. If you're the communication person or if you're the person developing the website, it's very, very helpful to have a guide for everyone and say, these are our fonts, these are our colors, this is how the logo is to be treated, everything like that. And really, that's very liberating because it helps everybody get a sense of how to design things. So you can even go in here and change colors. And there's a number of different ways to find colors. So let me just click in here. So let me click in link color. So you see this, you see three different options: RGB, you see HSB, or you see the hex number, the pound sign there. And you say, well, how do I find colors? There's a lot of different websites out there. One of my favorite, and I'm just going to tab over to it, is the Pantone.com site for color finders. And when you click into Pantone.com, it gives you all the colors that are available in the Pantone book. So you see all of these. And if I clicked on any one of these, let's just do this red right here and have this pop up. This is how you'll find that RGB number. You type that in there, or the hex number and the pound sign, or the CYMK. This doesn't have the HSB, but you'd have the two at least. Just an aside, you don't have to get too deep into that, but it does help if you really want to build the graphic style and personalize your page. All right. Again, remember to hit save changes on anything. And also something to note, Dave mentioned the information and having the support tab here. You'll see on every single page in your administrative view, you've got this little circle I down here at the bottom right-hand corner. If you click on the circle I, that's our information page. So you can type in here, search articles, how do I change colors? So it shows me some different top results. In certain areas, it may even have some suggested answers or suggested type of questions already. All of that is always at your fingertip. But the other thing here too, you can send us a message. Click into here, add a subject line, let us know what you're trying to achieve or what question that you have. Be as specific as you can. And even if it's just, hey, I need help, please call me, and give us a number, do that. Have a priority sent to us, and you'll email that to us, and our team of support people will be able to grab that and help address your issue. The other thing too, you're always welcome to call us at 800-346-6120. Again, that's pretty much during normal business hours. So there are times I know where you're working late and you're trying to get the website put together and you have a question. That's where the emails would be helpful as well. So we can jump on that right away for you. Let me just click out of here. You notice all I'm doing is clicking the X button. That gets me back out of here. Okay, the last two items in this, and I won't spend too much time in here, is advanced. And this provides the option for you if you do know coding and you have some customized, headers or footers that you want to put in, and you know the coding aspect of that. You can use it that way. And if not, I'll still show you how you can make a great looking website. So don't worry about these too much. And then the final piece is edit. And here's where you can then clone one of our preset themes and then take total control out of it. So you can clone a theme and then go in and completely edit it to however you like. All right. Let me just get out of here. Notice again how I get out of these tabs is just go back up to the top right of the tab, hit the X, and I'm back out of it. All right, let's keep moving along. You see my web page is starting to be built out. I want to add some content. So let's go to pages. And content is just really a fancy way of saying the stuff that your members are going to be interested in learning about you, your members or your visitors. This is where you have a great opportunity to share and to engage with your audience. This is where your personality and your tone live and really provide the text or the images. So within this section, you see two different areas. You see active menu items, and I'll highlight that, active menu items, or you see available menu items. Now we have to be careful here not to think of these two designations as things that are on my site or things that are not on my site. And I'll show you what I mean here. Your active item menu this shows your navigation. You see my home, you see visits, you see some sub pages under there. You see about us, you see worship times, news. I'm going to scroll down. You've got ministry, sermons, and members. And I put in a members only page in here, and we'll talk more about that as we go along. And then note too that some of these have little pages underneath them. So let me switch back to the main page and I'll show you what I mean here. So I'm going to click on home. And these are my active menu items. So I'm coming back to home and you see my tabs now. You see home, you see visit with a few sub pages underneath it. You see worship times, you see about us, again with some sub pages underneath that. News, ministries, sermons, and Concordia members. So that active menu are your subheads and your headings. So let me go back to pages. And let's say the way that navigation's set, I wanted to change it out. Let me show you how easy that is. Let's say we've got our home page and we have visit, but what I'd really like to have is my worship times right next to it. I just click and I just drag and drop it. And that just completely changes the navigation. I'll go back to the home. See, good example here. I didn't save that page. So let me go back and let me hit save changes. Do that. And then let me go into my home page again. And I'll show you how I did. Let me go back to my home page. Let me just make sure my changes are saved. Okay, it says up here my changes have been saved. So I'm going to go back to home. Click on it. I'm just going to hit continue because I do know I've saved it. It comes up. Oh, okay, now I've got my home page. Now I have my worship times. Now I have visits. So, you can change this navigation bar as much as you need. But let's talk about getting back into here. The other thing too, David mentioned that this is a mobile-friendly site. And you notice that I have my main headers and then my sub pages. So I don't have subs underneath that. I don't go main, sub, 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 sub. And that's because it is mobile-friendly. So, if you had too many sub pages underneath, it would just get too jumbled up, basically, to use a non-technical term. But this way, it can remain mobile-friendly. What do we mean by when we say mobile-friendly, just so we are all on the same page there? If I'm on my home page and it's responsive, so basically, as my screen changes, so does the width and the height of my website. Again, why is this valuable? Being mobile responsive is so great now that how many of us just go straight to our phones to try to find something? And imagine if you've got a visitor trying to find your church and they're on a Sunday morning and they're looking at their Google Maps and they're trying to find it. They can go right to your website on their phone and it would have a good view for them. So let me just move this back. All right. So now let's go to pages. Let's start putting some content in. I want to make sure my time's good. We're looking good right now. So you see something down here at the end, at the bottom here. You see different notations here. Under my active menu items, you see publish, you see make draft. And let's just go through these. Publish is making the page live. Making it a draft is, keep working on it and then publish it later. Deleting it is just getting rid of it. Public is this is for anyone to see, anybody out there on the internet, in the web to see it. Private is keeping it private, maybe select members or different people you give access to it. And then duplicate is just duplicating that page. So let's see, let's add a page. And here is where I go my available menu items. So when we want to add a page, we have two options here. And you'll notice this as I click over it and put the mouse in there, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. The one plus sign with the multiple pages says add category. The one to its right then is just add a page. So, categories go straight in your navigation. So if I wanted to add a category, see how it comes right down here into my active menu items. That goes straight to a navigation site. So I'm going to see if I can just get rid of that, actually. I think I have to probably delete it. Okay. Or the pages then add, they can be placed at any number of places. So let's add a page. And then you see different options within our add page. You see a lot of options. You see an RSS feed. Well, first you see a blank feed, a blank page. Then we'll go to the RSS feed. And that's just really simple syndication. Sorry, I forgot that just for a minute. Really simple syndication. And that is a way to add news and things like that that people can get very quickly and very easily. I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. Then you go into a group page, and this is where you can add a group. And then we have certain pages that are just already preset with some different layout options and some sample text already in there for you. So I'm going to close that. And let's go into a page, just again for time saving. Let's go into a page that we've already done. Let's go into, let's go into welcome. So I'm clicking straight into my welcome page, and this is a page that I've already done. So here's the page, welcome to Concordia. It just says welcome as a headline. It says welcome to our congregation. When I want to go in here and edit this page and add to it, on my left side, you see a bar, especially when again, this is in your administrative view. You see this edit page. I click on that and it opens up a number of different things. You see a number of different layout options. I can go from the single column, a two column, like this. I can go to, large column, small column. You see the different options available to you. Then it shows me the status. This is now a published page, but let's say I want to move this over to a draft and make my changes that way. Then you see the page URL, and this is really what you see on the top as you're starting to navigate on it. You see that, and you can make those changes to that navigation as well. And sometimes it's nice to just change the URL, just to have a simple URL if you're using it in social media or using it just in your own promotion. You have the title page right here, and then you have the meta description. And the meta description box is where Google or other search engines describe your site. It's how it's seen in those areas that way. And if you don't put anything in there, it will pull directly from your site. But it's a great way to include engaging information for searchers or to increase your search engine optimization. But again, you don't need to worry about it here as we get started. But it's a great way to improve your pages over time. So you might have people on staff, or maybe you, who want to work on that meta description and can really boost how you're doing it. But let's see, and also, I'm sorry, you have cancel and you have save down there at the bottom. Let's go to worship times. That's one that I can edit for you. So we've got our worship times, and I want to show you how it is. So here's all my layout and everything on the left side. So to make edits, I just click right into my box. And what you see here is all of the editing styles. type, paste. Yeah, this is something great too. You can, and I would recommend this too. There's a spell check feature in here, but sometimes spelling is tough. If you're like me, it's tough to sometimes spell correctly. Type it out in Word, type it out however you want, and then you can copy and paste into this. But let's say we're going to make some changes on here. This is, you see, I still have in here some of the preset text that was in here. You can go in and edit that out, and you can see upcoming special services. Well, we had an Easter Sunday, but let's change that and just say music special service. And we've got a music special service with orchestra and bell ringers. So I can go in there and I just click out of it. And again, I save. It will remind me that I have unsaved changes. So I'm going to hit save. But let's say I want to change the service times. Okay, it's not 6:30 a.m., but it's our 9:30 service. Let me click up. There we go. Let me do that. And let's say we're going to do another one at 7 p.m. Okay, so that is as easy as it is to make the changes in here. And if I wanted to change some of my formatting, again, I go in here. I can do, let's do again, let's bold this. I can just go in here. And a lot of this is what you see is what you get. It's the old WYSIWYG type thing. So you see that I've made these changes. It's bolding, it's italicizing. It's, if you work with any type of word processing program, you can do the editing here. It's that simple. Okay, so we're going to type that. I'm going to hit save one more time. So you have the flexibility in here too, if you do find a typo or if you need to go in and make changes right away, to go in very easily in your administrative mode and edit those pages down. Let's switch over to something else. Let's go over to ministries. Let's go to children's ministry. I'll show you how to add a couple other things. Okay, we've got Vacation Bible School this week. All right, Vacation Bible School is this week, and we've added some different things here in our Vacation Bible School. I want to add in, let's say I want to add in next year's theme already. So we're doing a Miraculous Mission right now, and I'm going to edit my page. I'm in the edit page mode, but let's go down and let's do this. Let's try to, let's see if I can move this up. I'm moving that, but what I'm trying to do is get below it. There I go. So I'm below it, but let's see. Let's add a picture, and let me show you how easy that is. So there's our information for this week's Vacation Bible School. And now I'm going to say, join us in, now I'm going to copy and paste this just to make it even easier. So I've got, again, full copy and paste capabilities. Come join us for Vacation Bible School. And then I'm going to say, in 2020, which is hard to believe. Put an exclamation point there. Now I want to add a picture, and I want to show you how easy it is to add an image in here. Again, in my editing tools, you see all the different things in here. I can add audio, I can add video, I can add different embedded materials, but I also have this tab here to embed an image. So I'm going to click on that, and then the image property shows up. Now, there's ways to do this. I can upload images. I can select an image that I already have, and see, I already have 5 more in here. So one of the ones that I want to upload is already in here, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to upload a picture. So I hit on upload. I've got the files that I wanted to bring in right away. I'm going to add this logo. And now I have it in here twice, but don't be confused by that. And I'm going to upload that, and I'm going to say, okay. Oh, wow. Look how strange that looks. It just kind of came in, it's all scrunched, and it just doesn't fit that column at all. I can go back in and I can edit that. And the pictures, it's very easy. There's some things that you can work with as far as pixel sizes and different things, but let me show you a quick little simple trick. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go to advanced, and you see the width is 900 by 684. I want to just fit my column length. Let me just give you a quick, simple thing to do here. Click in here, and I go 100% by 100%. And then I want to lock the aspect ratio. And when I do that, all right, that's much, much better. That looks a lot better in my graphic, and it looks a lot better on my web page. Again, remember to save. Hit save. Some of this is trial and error as you start putting pictures in and things of that nature. But again, if somebody who doesn't use this software day after day after day can come in and just make quick changes like this and have it look good, I know you're going to be able to do it as well. A couple other things here. I'm going to get out of this edit page. And to do that, I just click out of it. It shows that I'm saved. Remember when we were adding groups and adding pages? You know, we can add a couple of options. We can add the feed, the RSS, or the groups. And I want to show you a neat example of what you can do with a feed that's an RSS feed. And again, as I said, RSS stands for really simple syndication. And that's what it is. It's simply being able to add current information and really simply just push it out to your subscribed members. So this is another great way to engage and keep people coming back to your site. So let's look at a page I already started here. And I'm going to go to announcements. In fact, what I'm going to do is go to my home page first. I'm going to go to announcements. And I set this page up, announcement. I have it as a subhead under news. And I set this page up to just push out different things. It's a feed page. It was really starting to hit some of our Lenten and Easter services, and it shows I've got more in there. It was Easter sunrise service, but let's say I want to add another feed here. So what this allows me to do, it gives me a new post, and let's say I want to talk about that music service. So let's go special music. Scroll down there and join us for a special night or a special service of music and praise. Okay. And I can add the date. What was it? We were talking 9:30 a.m. and 7 p.m. Okay, I want to hit create. And now that has already come up, but it still has a draft. So I want to be sure that I've got it correct. So let me just make sure that that's in there. Feed is in announcements, status. I want to change my status and make sure it's published. So I do that, I hit save. And now that's in there saved, and it becomes another one of my RSS feeds. And those people, members that have subscribed to that would automatically get a notice on that. And really all this does is give your people another reason to just keep coming back to your website. You can do it on your Facebook and do it on your social media, but again, some people will come straight to your website and not go or not know where your social media is. So this shows you how simple it is to have it on both places. Let's talk a little bit about groups. And again, I keep looking at the time. I want to make sure that I'm covering enough for you and getting everything in here. One of the first things when I first started learning Church360 Unite, the groups function was one of the most interesting and most useful tools that I found. Let's say you want to add a confirmation group of parents for your confirmands. You can also add confirmands and make that their own group. So let's go back and let's go to pages and add groups. Again, if I go back to page, here's where I add a group. And again, for the sake of time, I'll do one that I've already done. Let's go into our youth. I'm just going to click straight into that. But I would add this group in this way. And see, I've taken it there. And you see the various announcements we have within our youth ministry page, upcoming youth events, summer mission trip is coming up. But you also see this pastor's confirmation page. And you see my picture down there because I was the one who set up this group. If you're an administrator, you could have somebody else's pictures. You could do it as someone else or not even include your picture, I'm sure. So you can do this, and this is where it really becomes exciting and useful. So I click into my groups, and now you see the look is completely different. You have things like a discussion board to your right. You have an events calendar, and I don't have anything in there. You have downloads, you have members, a place as the administrator to be able to edit the group and change member settings. But let's click on the discussion tab. And I love this within the groups. You know, if you think about it, with social media, we're all so much more used to sharing things and discussing things online. You know, Bible studies we've shared for years, but here's a place within your web page to really start having members provide feedback and really starting to get dialogue away from the few hours on a Sunday morning. You can have people talking and sharing things in here. There are 3 different areas in here. There's discussions, there's prayer requests, there's announcements. You know, and imagine how powerful this functionality or useful this functionality could be within a confirmation class or a Bible study group, or maybe the altar guild or the elders or things of this nature, where you can add these type of information in here. For confirmation, I mean, you can be talking directly to parents and engaging them, you know, perhaps more so than you might otherwise. You know, and you can separate this even further. I could go under ministry tabs and you'll see other groups, but let's just say, for instance, I want to put in here a prayer request. Okay, we've had some prayer requests. Let's do a discussion question. Discuss the 3rd article with your parents and classmates. Papers due next week. Let's say we're going to ask them to write a little paper on it. Again, all I have to do is hit post, and now that becomes part of my discussion board. Let me go back to pages again, or let me go back to home. And I want to show this in another couple different areas. So if I go under my Concordia members, here's where I've done some of my private groups. My directory is here, searchable. Oh, it was under ministries, pardon me. So it's under Concordia groups, and this is private. So I have my pastor's confirmation class, my women's Bible study, my summer golf league, you know, and just for grins, let me click into the summer golf league. So again, you can have something even just like activities in here and make use of it this way. And I love this functionality. You know, it's private, it's convenient, extremely flexible, and it kind of sets your website apart from any others, to know that the website is also a place where people can engage and talk and share different things as well. They can be made up of members, they can be made up of different groups. It's just a lot of flexibility here. And again, let's talk about going back to Concordia members. I mentioned the directory, and I love having this too. So just say I have click here and I put a hyperlink when I did this editing. Here, I'll just show you that. You know, as I edit, you know, it allows me to put in hyperlinks. So that's really what I did there. So I'm clicking here for a searchable directory. And again, this is members only. You see this little lockdown right here. You see this. I can set this up that the general public can't see this, but my members can see it. And what an advantage that can be. Or I can even set up the restrictions. Maybe I just want my elders to be able to get it, or my pastor, you know, obviously my pastors would have access to this, but maybe I just want my elders to see it. You know, and again, if you're using Church360 members, it's automatically in there. If you're using Shepherd staff, we can help you integrate it. But you know, why wouldn't you want to include your members into your directory here? You know, I can go in here and I can search real quick and see who pops up. So it's anybody whose name is James, and it shows me all the difference in the James family. You know, Barry. If I can click in here, it shows me, you know, what groups he's in. He's in the summer golf league. He's in pastor's confirmation class. I've got phone numbers, and you can go in and change some of the visibility of some of this as well if you have people that don't want to have their information out there. But I love that you can go in here and take a look at this. I can also go in here and edit the page as well. Oh, no, I can't because it's blacked out. Sorry about that. But I'm going to click back into here. Then the last thing I want to show you today is emailing. And if you think about the whole purpose of the website is to communicate information. Well, it helps to members as well as to visitors or seekers. And if you're like me, you like to be able to send people information quickly and easily. And here's where your member email capability really comes in handy. And I may actually ask Dave to help me jump in on some of this because Dave knows this type of stuff just like that. But let's say I'm going back to my members. Or let's say I want to go back to members or maybe groups. Let me go back to my groups. So I'm going to go in here and I want to do Summer Golf League again. And I want to set an email to everyone. So I go into members. I do that. You see, I only have 3 members right now in this group for demonstration purposes, but you can see where I can go to my members. I have the option to email selected people or email everyone. So let's just say I want to go in here and just email the 2 group leaders and Troy. I'll just do the 2 of us. I can email all, and an email window will pop up. I don't actually have my email open right now, so keep it from popping up while we're doing this. Oh, it did show up. There you go. And so I can go in here and type this through, and you see this relay.360.unite.com. This is how the email is sent out to a large number of people. And it makes it simple and allows you to do multiple emails at one time. The other thing that is great in here, and you'd notice that if I were sending this out, it also allows you to have an unsubscribe button. And this hits with all of the new requirements that are going on with the legal requirements on email usage and things of this nature. So again, you would be covered in that type of thing. So I'm just going to get out of this and be done. All right, timing is pretty well, and I know I've covered a lot of different things in here, and there's so much that we could go even further in depth with. But as we said, we're just really scratching the surface at this point, and it really would be beneficial for you to sign up for that free trial and start playing around with this yourself. Try some different themes, try some different looks, add some content. You know, you'll be able to provide your church with professionally designed and usable website with just a few easy clicks. It's going to be easy to maintain, beneficial to your members and your visitors. It'll grow with you. So as you continue to grow and add pages or different groups or integrate your members, this will grow with you. And you don't have to rely on an out-of-town company or programmers who may have left, or somebody who's got a buddy who knows how to do a website. We've got an entire staff here that works on this and continues to work on improving it for you. And once you subscribe and once you're a part of it, those improvements and those enhancements will just come straight along with it for you. And the great news about this is you don't need to learn or know a lick of code. You see that a lot of this is just simple, easy, what you see is what you get. It's editing, it's adding pictures in here. It's being able to put faces and imagery and bring your church to life in a digital sense. I didn't even get in the point of being able to upload your sermons or your videos or any of those type of things. We may save that for another website coming up. And speaking of that, Dave and I will be offering more of these type of seminars. So if there's a particular subject or if there's a particular area that you would like to see more of, maybe it's graphic design of a website. Maybe it's how to market and promote your website on social media or other things like that. Let us know. Send us an email, send a chat message to us. Let us know what subjects you want to hear. But today was just a brief, quick overview. And we want to thank you again for attending. I know we covered a lot of different things in this, but if we can ever be of assistance, don't hesitate to contact Dave or myself or any of the support staff on Concordia Technology Solutions. And I'm going to go switch it back over to Dave now, see if we have any questions. If we don't, and you think of something later, send us an email, let us know. We're here to help you. So Dave, I think time-wise, we are in pretty good shape. We did quite a lot to cover, but I want to hand this back to you and see if we have any other questions or see if you might have some additional comments.
Certainly. So now it'll be a time for any questions that people may have. So I'm going to put that here up on the screen as well. So hopefully you'll be able to see the screen that says questions and answers, and I'm going to kind of leave that there for just a moment, but then while we're waiting to see if there's any additional questions or that you may have, I'm going to put my contact information on the screen. Hopefully you'll be able to see that as well. And so Ken, let me know if that looks like that is visible.
I've got it.
Okay, fantastic. And then also, I'm going to take us back here just a moment. Looks like somebody might be asking a question here, but as we're waiting for that to be finally submitted, you can start your free 30-day trial by going to the 360unite.com. So definitely feel free to visit the 360unite.com website, and you can get started on a free 30-day trial. There, we can even help you during that 30-day trial, answering questions that you might have during the trial. Looks like, oh yeah, there is a question here, and it says, and I'll just answer this for everyone too. It says, can we go ahead, or can we email everyone if we wanted to who's in our directory, instead of just a smaller group? And that kind of stems and opens up a couple different questions regarding emailing. So I'm going to answer that for you really simply. The answer is yes, you can email absolutely everyone. And then I'll go a little bit further to say that not only can you email everyone, but you can break that down into, like Ken showed you earlier, you can just email certain smaller groups or segments of people, or you can combine multiple groups so that you're not emailing everyone, but if there's 2 or 3 different ministries or groups that you have, you can email that out to those different groups. Or if there's only 5 or 6 different people, you can do that too. Now, the caveat with that is emailing out everyone really can only be done by someone who is at an administrator status. So we don't allow just your average member to log into the software and say, wow, I'd like to email everyone. You have to have a certain amount of administrative rights in order to do that, which is really top level. And then when you're doing multiple groups, well, you're going to also have to have a certain level to be able to do that as well. Once you get into a group, then your group leaders are going to be able to have administrative rights to be able to email out their group members. So certainly you are, as a church, you'll be able to set up the administrative privileges that some will have. But those are some great questions that were asked today. I'm going to check back to see if we have any additional questions that are coming up, and I actually don't see any other questions. So let me end by saying this again. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us to take a look at Church360 Unite. Certainly was Ken and I and my privilege to be able to show you a little bit more of the software today. Again, it's a privilege for us to be able to share our time and to be able to show you the software. So give us a call if we can be of assistance to you. And I would certainly be glad to answer any additional questions that you may have. Again, thank you for your time today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and the rest of your week. Thanks again, and God's blessings on you. Thanks.